felt the need to go on for a very, very short time because the boot prints that were found, whose boot prints were they? And what is the story with the other Justin? Justin Smith? Did I hear that name correctly? Well, you know what? I think I'm going to only do this for 1 minute because nobody seems to be up anymore. Wait 1 second, guys. So yesterday, I was going to go live 24 hours or 25 or 26 hours ago, and I didn't, and I regretted not doing it. So right now, I'm actually here to share with you, well, to see what some of you have found out. And what is the story with Justin Smith, guys? I need to know the claim that the person, the Justin that was there on the ATV is not Justin Martel. I would like to know if there's anything to that. I haven't looked into it, but I want to know if there's something to know. You know what I mean? And I'm watching hi Krista, I'm watching the chat intensely because I've gotten a lot of messages regarding, you know, we all wondered why that Justin on the ATV looks nothing like Daniel. So some of you have said there is a Justin Smith that was helping. Again, I am not doing this video to make a statement or to share something I have learned. It's basically me asking you the question because one of you has messaged me about this. And I'm ready to, well, end this any second so you guys can get some sleep, right? But the one thing I need to share with you guys from the documents, and I am now getting deeper and deeper into them, little by little. It says here, boot prints were found on the pipeline by GSAR Friday night into Saturday morning. There were clumps of them, and they were 2 different sizes. She said they were small in size and corresponded to what children would wear. They focused their search in that area because of the boot prints. But Janie also told us she talked to a woman with a child on an ATV. So, which is it? Yeah, hey, Seawood. I mean, this is the worst time. No, this is actually a good time to do a live. I think. I'm not really prepared. I only have a lot of questions on my mind right now. And so the blanket was found on Friday, right? let's do this together, because I started reading and reading and reading, and I said, forget it, man, because some of you have already read way ahead of me when it comes to the documents. And so the blanket was found Friday, but Logan said the blanket was found the same day that Malaya left, right? That would have been Saturday. She told us that Daniel was gone all day, and he wasn't there when Malaya had left, right? Logan is so full of lies. And now, remember what I talked about in terms of the hidden in the fog segment. Now pay close attention to people who turn this false sighting into a story of its own. If you want to know who's trying to sidetrack, look for the people who use a story where there's no evidence. They said it was forwarded to the police. Okay. Full stop. Okay. What has police said about it? Nothing. Of course, I don't expect them to. But Kent is all out there on channels talking about that fake sighting. Why? Because people who want to sidetrack, they want to build a story around the story. And I have nothing personally against them, but I know what I'm seeing and I know what I'm hearing. And by the way, when it comes to Durwood, any specific statements? Now, what is the claim? Did he say something about Saturday they had pizza together? Was his son there? So if any of you has these statements, please bring them my way, the specific ones, if you have already listened. Hey, Babs Brett. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. I'm not really prepared at all. But you know what? I don't care. And who was in the chat yesterday that claimed there was a Justin Smith and it wasn't Daniel's brother? That's another thing I would be more than interested in. But let me find some else. Give me 1 second, people, okay? I need to have 1 minute to get myself back. Because the question is, this guy, is this the same guy as this guy? I see similarities. But some of you claimed there's another Justin. So, I don't know. I have to disregard this for now. But still, once my mind is going, I don't easily shut it off. But I'm telling you, this could be absolutely nothing. But no, they don't look anything alike. I'm sorry, I don't see any similarities really between Justin and Daniel. I really don't. Well, this guy a little bit. I don't know, people. You tell me. Same guy? Okay, got it. The disregard. Sorry, and this is why I'm so late, because I was looking more into it and I realized, and the person who just sent me a new pledge, oh my God. I want to share it with you right now. This is it. And don't tell me I misspelled distancing, please. So maybe I will crop this out here and turn this into the header part. I love it. Thank you so much. And please tell me if I may name you, because I don't like send you some info on the boots. It's a recap. Okay, thank you, Cal. Thank you very much. I will look at it. I will have the time to look at it. Well, I feel like telling you a bedtime story. Let's say it like that. If anything, I can tell you a bedtime I can help you go to sleep. Please don't pay attention to Kent's appearances dragging out the false sighting. That's really my number one message here. But take note, when anybody is using something that hasn't been proven whatsoever and turns it into more than it actually is, this is what I'm paying. And again, I don't have anything personally against Kent. And sometimes I'm hesitant to even go that direction, right? What I am telling you guys is that at any time, we need to be able to disconnect completely from everything. And when we come back and look at the case and what we have been looking at, we need to see things the same way we had before. If you disconnect for 2 days from this case and whatever was on your mind before, you return and all of a sudden it looks completely different, then it's a good indication that your mind has gone into directions that are far away from what actually took place. This is just a tactic that where I have observed myself what I need to do in order for me to be focused at all times. Give me 1 second. It's coffee time. So, he forgot so. Well, you know what? That's okay. So should be up here, maybe the tagline. But I think it's good like that because, it's our little inside thing. Anyways, hi, Dolores. Hi, Celia. What? Don't complain. I've been singing that stupid song all day. I'm the internet, you're the internet. Yeah, you know what? I will end the segment with this song. I'll make sure it sticks to your mind, man, as it is in mine. You see, the day I was ready to do the live, my first one, my first real one, that song popped into my mind after a long time, right? And anywho. The image is not clear. Let's change that. No, I don't care. I don't care, people. I don't care, because you know what? You can watch a million other things that are so well done visually, but tell you absolutely nothing. Okay? Now, check this out. This is also from the documents that, take a long time to read through. And here's one part that really, what is this? He confirmed that Lilly's blanket has been found on the first day of the search, although this information had not yet been released by police. The blanket was reportedly discovered near a child-sized boot print in the pipeline area. We still don't know if it's Lilly's boot print, people. Janie told us there was a woman with a child on an ATV that she was talking to, and the fact that she mentioned that woman is highly sensitive, because this is not something that would be important, whom she talked to. It wouldn't make a difference, right? When you are searching for two missing children. Why is this such an area of importance? Give me 1 second. I'm reading your messages right now. But I'm sticking with this route. This is what I'm sticking with, guys. Yes, that lady needs to come. I want to know, who was that lady on the ATV with the child? I want to know from her, A, how long did you talk to Janie? Because Janie, for 2 hours, for more than 2 hours, ignored Malaya's phone call, using her as the reason. Of course, that was not the reason, people. Okay? Secondly, did your child ever get off the ATV and walk around? What size shoe or boot is your child wearing? And so what I realize is that even when I'm not really prepared here, that people talk about Kent is now on a live, or was earlier, and he's talking about the sightings and this, where I figure, you know what? Let's not get sidetracked with that. Okay? It's been forwarded to police. It's a hoax, people. There was no sighting. Okay, I'm getting more information here. Oh, gee. Yeah. You tell me when you're ready to sleep, guys. And I can call it a night as well. I just needed to get this out here. Let's focus on the things that are really, really, really important. And if there's another Justin, well, let me know. But I'm getting too many things coming my way where people, are not sure. And when it comes, there are 2 boot prints, okay? 2 boot prints. And we still don't know whom they belong to. Imagine that. I mean, I have not seen a case where there is so little attempt to inform the public, or even at least try to, share. I mean, they're sharing nothing. They're just like, we can't talk about it. At least in the case of Sebastian Rogers, law enforcement was at least trying to bullshit everybody a little bit, right? But here, they're like, nope, can't tell you. Anyways, anyhow, Give me a second. Let me see what else I got here. Back to the basics. Cal, what did you just send to me? I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, baby, that's it. Give me a second. What do you mean bloody underwear? I have no idea. Oh my God. You see, now I'm in a position where I want to share this with you guys, but I don't know how real any of it. Okay, let me put it up here. A cast was taken of one of the boot prints and it was found to have a 29 marked on its thread. Size 11 children boots for Lilly. Okay. Let me go back there. Can you guys see this? Oh, the Cape Brannan Forum? Yeah, I haven't heard about that either. So I would disregard this for now. Because I don't want, you see, this is dangerous, guys. Okay, I would disregard it. Thank you. I would disregard that then. What is this coming from? The pink blanket thing. I don't know about this now. Sorry. I'm going to disregard because if I need to know if it comes from the actual documents. I want to know if it comes from the actual documents. I don't want the Brannan Forum. I want nothing from there. I want nothing from there. You see, because these people, a lot of these people, they just make stuff up left and right. And this is what we have to, immediately ignore. Immediately ignore it unless we have the time to verify it. When that is the case, we need to get to it and verify it. But the problem is that we are going to see a lot of people make up a lot of things. And now I'm going to go back to I prepare next time, people. Don't pay attention to anything unless you have the time to verify it, because otherwise
it is live and
okay. So I want to see if I missed anything.
Halifax, he's picking up the story for us this morning. Where do things stand today, Brett, with the search efforts?
Good morning, Heather. Yes, search efforts are continuing this morning for these two children here in Nova Scotia. So we have 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan. They went missing on Friday morning. Now, we heard from the children's stepfather recently. Here's what he had to say about this situation.
The last few days are very stressful. I mean, ever since the Friday morning, when we noticed that the children were gone, immediately jumped in the vehicle.
Notice what he said here, guys. Let's get right back to the basics. Listen one more time, okay? Remember when Katie Proudfoot talked about 6 a.m., waking Sebastian up. That's when he wasn't in his bed. Listen to this.
The last few days are very stressful. I mean, ever since the Friday morning, when we noticed that the children were gone.
Friday morning, when we noticed that the children were gone. Friday morning was not when they noticed that the children were gone. This is an unnecessary statement. And when somebody uses either avoidance or gives us information that we either haven't asked for and or that isn't necessary, we need to look for the reason, and there is a reason. So the reason in this particular case is that he wants to convince us that until Friday morning, nothing had happened. He wants to convince us everything was perfectly normal that night. There was nothing out of the ordinary. And now let's go back to what Malaya actually stated about that night, because I have that part of the document as well. And that is in the same one that I shared with you guys earlier. In the afternoon on Thursday, they went to New Glasgow. They went to the big shop, and so Tim Hortons. Daniel stayed in the car. They had Starbucks. What a life, man. What a life. In the evening, she was going to do some cleaning. Always going to do, right? Remember Rebecca Harrow? She was going to change the diapers. She was going to, fixing to, getting ready to. She avoided letting us know what she did at the particular moment, right? When somebody tells you what they're intending to do, it is often complete bullshit. They want you to look away from what they are actually doing. Remember, Daniel said in an interview he was getting ready to get into finance. He is avoiding telling us what he is doing now. I'm getting ready to this. I'm getting ready to clean. Well, if you live in a complete shithole, I guess you're always getting ready to clean. Oh, I'm fixing to clean that. Don't you worry about it. And then 3 years later, it's even worse than before. You know what I'm saying? Can you read it? Thumbs up, yes. The early Daniel was extra creepy. You know what? I agree. And you know what? It is an energy thing also. That was not long after he did to Jack and Lilly what he did, guys. He has calmed down since. Time minimizes impact. In the evening, she was going to do some cleaning. Yeah, right. But she was too tired. She's always too tired. Malaya was always too tired to do anything. period. What did she do all day? What did she do when allegedly Daniel was beating Jack and Lilly? By the way, here in the court document, they're still spelling Lilly with one L. So, heck if I know, right? The kids were watching a show on TV. Okay, I can see that. I can imagine they put them in front of the TV all the time. The TV was probably always running. Leave us alone. Go watch some. You know, not do your homework, not let's do something together, but go watch TV. TV is a babysitter. Now, the interesting part. Lunch break, where are you? In Australia? Yes, he had a frantic adrenaline rush, absolutely. And he was running up and down that pipeline, guys. That's where he was. He was running frantically up and down that pipeline all day long. Make no mistake about it. He was busy. And he felt the need to explain what he did all day long. Because what he actually did was remove evidence. And he wanted to sidetrack from that. He wanted nobody to get any idea. So that's why he used that also as a way to look like a hero, right? Absolutely. But looking like a hero was not the prime motivator for his interviews. It was to keep people from wondering why he was gone from the house all day. And me and Belinda both in the beginning said, yeah, I don't think he wants to be seen. I don't think he wants to be there. I don't think he wants people to be, I don't think he wants to be available to people to ask him questions. Avoidance. But it's more than that. And that's why Janie's statements are so important, because Janie fills in the blanks. Janie told us straight up. She let us know he was at the pipeline all day long. No more lies. Hi, how are you? Great to have all of you here, guys. Again. Yes, by the way, what a great name. Diesel Weasel. Was going to clean is code for I'm ashamed of my living conditions. Absolutely. Oh, gee, it's a shithole? I was just getting ready to clean. Oh my God, you caught me in the worst moment. It's never been like this. Oh my God, this is so not me. When somebody tries to tell you, this is so not me, this is nothing like me, this is not who I am, this is not my personality, I am not like that. Chances are they are exactly like that. And use that in every aspect of life. When somebody is trying too hard to tell you who they are, there is a reason for that. Because they want to cover up. They're afraid to be seen for who they really are. And they have been exposed. This is something that they don't want people to know about. How they were living. Not only how they were living, but what kind of shithole they let Jack and Lilly live in. And there were recyclables all over. You couldn't even find anything in the kitchen. Except the shed in the back was completely empty. Completely. Something was in that shed, people, and had been there for a long time and couldn't be there when the police got there. So I know you guys think along the same lines as I do. I know that. I've talked to enough of you in person, I mean chat or whatever, sometimes voice. And so far, everybody seems to think along the same lines. She put Lilly and Jack to bed first, then Meadow, and then went to bed herself. Really? Now listen to this. Malaya said they were late getting to bed that night and went around 9 p.m. But remember, in that article, they said that she changed it from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yes, it was their special kitchen back there. And I want to know who had that car, the 5-speed car, people. Because whatever was in there, the special kitchen, you know, who picked it up? Whom did he tell, hey, just get rid of it, just get it out of here, you can keep it? You know, 9 p.m. Daniel said around 8. Now she says 9, but she later changed it to 10. This is exactly the time frame when it happened, guys. The avoidance. There is a huge difference between 8 and 10. And I believe between those times, something very important happened, very significant. And let's never get sidetracked, no matter what they say about, oh, I guess it's not criminal. Let's talk about a false sighting. Don't go there, guys. Don't go there. Make them give you evidence. Otherwise, ignore it. I don't care how many lives Kent goes on to talk about it. When they talk too much about something that hasn't been proven, do intention detection immediately. Intention detection, guys. Why is Kent wasting his time with that? Is his intention to find Jack and Lilly? Is he on the phone with police? Is he trying to speed it up? Is he trying to get more evidence? Or is he trying to get you to listen to something that hasn't been proven and plant a seed? That's what I'm talking about right here. Either way, it's a win-win for us because we are able to analyze people on so many different levels. And here, they usually go around 7. So here's a time frame now of 3 hours. And why is she telling us why didn't they go at 7? Because they couldn't fucking sleep. They drove around, they went to the mall, they were eating, the kids were sitting down. Maybe they didn't have enough exercise that day. Maybe they didn't run around enough. I think they didn't go to bed at 7 because they were unable to sleep. And that's what created a problem. And when Daniel told us he went in around 8 or so, and the sun went down, 8:26, but they had already been in bed, he said. They were already in bed. When he got there, they were probably put to bed. The same with Sebastian Rogers. When Katie said, when I told him to go to bed, he did, and then she laughs. She giggles. She said 9. Later, we learned he didn't go to sleep at 9. That is highly sensitive people. They usually go around, when somebody says they usually go around 7, or what they usually do, we need to ask ourselves, why didn't they that day? Janie told us they came home late the night before, 10 something. And Daniel said, I would have come home a lot earlier. If what, Daniel? Why didn't you? What was so important? So this is telling us right here, I believe that they don't want us to think about the time when it all took place. That's why they're vague about it. I believe Daniel came back in, 8 something. And Malaya said in a statement about Friday morning, I heard them talking, giggling, and laughing. But this experiential memory came from the night before, between, around 9 p.m. They wouldn't sleep. And she told us, then Meadow, and then went to bed herself. Okay. She wanted to sleep and put Meadow to sleep. But I think Jack and Lilly couldn't, and they made noise. And Daniel came in, and he heard they were making noise. And Daniel lost his shit. For a lack of a more accurate way to describe what he actually did, which I am not yet certain about. How he did it. Lilly was wearing a pink sweater and pink pajamas with white shapes and a Barbie top with pink socks. Again, they didn't want to tell us these things. Daniel avoided speaking about this until, I guess, Kent asked him. And, how did you get in touch with Daniel, Kent? And there was only a little bit of information. Yes, if anybody has any Excel skills, that would be wonderful. You see, the wrench story was he put a wrench on top of the door because of a bear. But why would the wrench? Okay, I guess if a bear was to open the door and the wrench falls down, makes a sound, it would maybe scare the bear off. Is that the gist of it? I've never seen a bear in real life or outside of my door or any of that. So, but I believe there are bears in the area, absolutely. And by the way, Cal, yeah, I'm going to this fast because I've been preparing for this so much that I realized I was looking too much into what just, anyways. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that forum, by the way, Cal. Please don't get me wrong. I'm saying I need the let's see if okay, so this is extremely important, people. Her hair was shoulder length and her backpack was beside her. Isn't that something? Here's the backpack again, guys. Why is that important? Why? Why did Daniel or Malaya feel the need to tell police that the backpack was beside Lilly? I'll be right back. What story are they trying to sell us and why? Yeah, what could have happened? Did Jack get hurt? I don't know. But the fact that they mentioned the backpack next to her. This wouldn't be important, people. Is that important? They're trying to indicate she was getting ready to go outside in the morning. I believe that is a part of the reason, if not the reason, to sell us a scenario where she had her backpack with her and she took it in the morning to go out there. Jack was wearing black sweatpants, a t-shirt, and a diaper, as he was only partially trained. I don't see them keeping the pull-up on that long. Did he take off the pull-up? Who changed it for him? That is the other question. Daniel stayed up. He said he was going to clean the house for her. Bam! He was going to clean the house for her as well. She was going to clean the house. But look, before it says Malaya said she tidied the house throughout the day and looked after the kids. These are two things she didn't do for sure. She never looked after the kids. And she did not tidy the house, not the condition it was in when they all got there, be it Friday or Saturday. Nobody tidied that damn house, period. And if you already tidied the house, then why? What the hell? Are you an obsessive cleaner or something? You already tidied it, and then she was going to do some cleaning again, and then Daniel, he was going to clean the house as well, but it wasn't clean when she got up. Well, I thought you tidied it. Still, I believe Malaya's interest is to have Meadow. And she doesn't want people to know what she allowed Daniel to do to Jack and Lilly. She feels at least partially responsible. And Daniel, Janie, and Logan are playing on that. So, can you see the sensitivity by mentioning cleaning? He said he was going to clean the house for her, but it wasn't clean when she got up. So she doesn't know what he did. It gotten dirty so fast after you tidied it. It is unreal. But this is exactly how these people are. They will lie to you straight up. They will tell you the opposite of what took place. Some people, they lie a little bit. These people have a habit of telling you the opposite of what took place. Nobody cleaned there. Nobody. And maybe cleaning to him means taking the recyclables and cashing them in. That's probably the only form of cleaning that he did. So there's something else. Give me a second. I don't know. Daniel stayed up. He said he was going to clean. Okay. Normally he did little projects around the house at night and fixed things. Oh, normally, right? Normally. But you cannot tell me what he did that night. That's major avoidance when they want to tell us what they don't know. Why would you bring this up? Malaya said she was not woken up throughout the night and does not know when Daniel came to bed. I'm sure she made sure to say again and again, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Thank you, Cal. An impression casting of a boot print found in the nearby woods was also taken. It doesn't say if it was Lilly's. It says only that the boot print size was consistent with Lilly's. That doesn't tell us anything. You know what I mean? We need to know who was the woman. Yes, he cleaned that shed out. Diesel, exactly. Exactly. He was cleaning out the shed. And he was getting rid of Jack and Lilly. That's what I believe exactly was what he did. So don't tell us what he normally does, right? When they want to go there, they want to tell us what he normally does. That is also a form of avoidance, because they're not linguistically committing to anything he did that night. You mean you don't remember at all? You don't remember anything? You don't remember anything about that night. Remember when Chris Proudfoot talked about every day and nightly and daily, Sebastian takes his medicine. What about that night? I cannot talk about it. It's, what did he say? That, I forgot the term, where you're not allowed to speak about what medicine somebody takes. Oh, I forgot. This is avoidance, people. Too much time spent on what he usually does, avoiding to get into details about that night. Malaya said she was not woken up throughout the night. Again, she's talking about what she didn't do. She is avoiding to tell us what she did do. She didn't say, I woke up here at that time. She doesn't just tell us what she remembers to help us. She is explaining that she has no clue, which actually indicates that she knows a lot of things that she doesn't want to speak about and does not know when Daniel came to bed. She continued by giving a detailed description of what happened on Friday. There we go. That is the script. Before, what happened that night was not scripted, at least not well enough. And that's why we have the inconsistencies. Daniel said at 8 p.m. the kids went to bed. Malaya said they went at 9, which was late. Usually they go 7. And then later she changed it to 10. And then Daniel felt the need to tell us that at midnight he turned the light switch on and off, and that the light switch was right next to the door. And that tells us he is trying to convince us he didn't have to go into the room. He did go in the room, and he raised hell in that room when he realized the kids were not going to sleep. This statement These statements from Malaya tell us, they indicate these kids did not want to go to sleep and they were making noise. But she was ready to sleep and she didn't want Meadow to wake up. That's exactly what it is telling her. HIPAA, yes, HIPAA violation. Robini, thank you so much. Chris Proudfoot, yeah, I said, well, it's HIPAA violation. I can't talk about that. He's taking medication every day or not. Not Leon Daddy, but that not. I cannot talk about. Yep, these avoidances, people never forget when they avoid something. Let me see the next one. Let me make sure I got this right. Okay, here we go. Amy Dipshit Hansen was the search manager for the search in the area where Jack and Lilly went missing. Yeah. Amy Hansen, who still thinks Jack and Lilly are still out there hiding somewhere. Where do they find these people? And why do they put people like that in charge? Yep. That voice, yeah, that's my Chris Proudfoot voice, man. I don't know how to do an Australian accent. I don't know how to do Australian at all. I can do but she stated that on day 6 of the search. Oh, really? Okay. Well, how would the kids survive 6 days in the woods with no food? It's cold. They didn't have their coats. I mean, what the hell? No water, unless they were by how far away is the next water outlet? Or the next lake? Or the next, well, okay, lake, the lake up there, yeah. Then what you would have to do is go towards wherever there's water and search there, right? If you do an organized search and it's been 6 days, you would say, okay, the children must have had water unless somebody took them in, unless they are in a neighbor's house, unless a neighbor actually either lured them in, snatched them, or took them in and said, hey, are you guys okay? And maybe Lilly said, yeah, I mean, of course this didn't happen. But these would be possibilities I would think about. Maybe a neighbor said, what happened? And maybe Lilly had a black eye and said, they're beating me. Okay, come on in. I keep you. You can chill out here. Okay, these are possibilities I would consider if I didn't know where to start. But for sure, if it was 6 days, they would have not survived without any water, period. So where would I search? I would search in the areas nearby where there's water. Even if it's a 1 in a million chances that's where they wound up being, well, that's where they would have to be if they survived. Otherwise, it would be a recovery mission and not a rescue mission. But they searched the water areas already. So she said the first day of the search focused on what GSAR calls nasty searches, meaning they search linear features like streams, trails, train tracks, and roadsides. They also did some grid searching around the residence where Jack and Lilly were last seen. So my question also is, did they miss evidence? Who searched what? Because is it GSAR or is it the RCMP? Because my thing would be secure evidence and look for evidence. And with somebody like Miss Hansen in charge, I don't feel so confident, There could have been evidence that was no longer useful after GSAR was there. Sorry, hasty search? Jeez, man, I'm getting tired. Hasty, thank you. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah. Holy crap. I guess I gotta clean my screen here. If the H looks like an N. I wasn't planning to listen, guys. Okay, I'm happy I'm doing this. I want to make sure also I have to look into these. By the way, the details, I will look into them. Cal. Oh, you need to, okay, the request, yeah. Okay, great. I will get the documents, Cal, I will get them. Somebody may already have them, Cal. Somebody may have them. Somebody that I know may have them already and may have already paid for it. I will find out later. And you can also share this in the chat if you wish. Do you? The night mountain bike. Okay, look. They also did some grid searching around the residence. Okay, that night mountain bike teams came in to do searches on trail areas that night. Okay, yes, if it is a rescue mission, of course you go out there at night and you scream, Jack, Lilly, Jack, Lilly. Of course, that was a part of a rescue mission, right? You know, they thought maybe the kids are out there. Cold, hungry, frozen, scared, helpless. Yes, mountain bike teams came. Look at the efforts. You see, to Malaya, it was surf effort. Of course, it's search effort for us. Look at what they all did, looking in the wrong direction, people. But they did what they had to do. They had no clue. I assumed they knew more, but they didn't. It took them 20 days to get the camera footage, right? How many weeks to go back to the pipeline? Look at this now. Boot prints were found on the pipeline by GSAR Friday night into Saturday morning. But Friday, wasn't Daniel already there during the day? Was the other child with the woman on the ATV there? There were clumps of them and they were two different sizes. She said they were small in size and corresponded to what children would wear. They focused their search in that area because of the boot prints. No specifics. They did grid searches in the area of the boot print and expanded out to waterways in that area as well. They conducted more searching in the area of the house. They went back there. They brought in heavy urban dogs who use air scenting to find people that are alive. To those of you who have read the whole thing, were cadaver dogs mentioned ever? Yes, absolutely. Daniel's charm, yes. He has a bullshitter's charm, kind of, right? A little bit. He Are you guys still okay? You know what? I'm doing this late, and I don't mind doing it late because I realize some of you guys I'm talking in private to that late around this time. So yes, some of you, no cadaver dogs, right? And so I realized a lot of the people, you see what are normally a boyish charm. Yes, Casey, thank you. I agree, he has a boyish charm. Disregard what he did. You know what, Grendel, to some people, maybe, you know, I do believe he comes off as a lost soul, so they feel bad for him. Cal, that is exactly what I believe too. He comes off as a lost soul, and so people feel bad for him. That is exactly how I saw him when he's yapping, he's talking, and I believe that's how he has poor me charm. Okay, yes. Okay, no cadaver dogs, got it. Poor me charm. Janie has poor me without any charm whatsoever. They all have the poor me in common. That whole damn family, it's all about poor me. That's how they get. Can you imagine dinner conversations if they all came together? You know? Wow. So much bullshit energy. But that's exactly what it is, poor me charm. And he knows it. He goes back to, that's his MO. He goes back to whatever worked for him in the past. When we are in emergency, critical situations, we go back to doing what had worked for us in the past. When you see people do something or say something very stupid, right? Or when, for example, I like to use that example when I witness when guys come onto girls or men come onto women in a very tacky and stupid way, where I'm like, ooh, I'm cringing, and I'm thinking, why, you know, why they're making sure the woman will not pay attention to or be like, get the hell away from me, you creep. You know what I mean? It's better to say nothing. Why would they do that? Because it had worked before. At one time, when circumstances were different, maybe when they were younger, had better looking, or more, maybe at one point this approach had worked. And when they are confronted with a situation where they want the same results, they go to what worked for them in the past. When Daniel saw the RCMP people there, and they told him straight up, you're not going in there. He was turning on his lost soul charm. And it came to him naturally because he was desperate to go to the pipeline. And he was desperate to search. We do what we always did. Yep. We use familiar, what is familiar to us at the time. And that's exactly what he did. The lost soul charm. Cal, you got it so right. Thank you, Casey. Yeah, I studied it pretty extensively, but it wasn't my major. But I wanted to be a psychologist at one point, but I didn't go down that road. Mathematics was it for me in university. But I have been very interested in human behavior, always have been, always. And now, with the help of statement analysis and PLEDs, it is like looking through people and seeing them for who they are and allowing them to show us who they are. They are the ones doing it. I don't have a crystal ball. Janie told me what they were doing all day. We have to listen. That's all we have to do. Listen or read. And if we don't catch it, and by the way, many things I don't catch the first time, many things. I catch the essence, but I look for the priorities, the leakage, avoidance, intentions, deception, sensitivities, and it guides me in a certain direction. Remember my first analysis of Logan's first interview. I scratched the surface, but already realized what her intentions were. And the second time I gotten into the detail and I learned how abusive the relationship was, how bad Daniel was to Jack and Lilly, and how much of a CPS problem there really was. The second time is always my favorite because I already got an idea. You see, the first one, that's what RCMP they should have had somebody like me there and conduct the interrogation with Daniel and be there to immediately apply plans and say, okay, let me do a follow-up question right now because of something that he stated. They took the statements, but they were lost. They didn't know where to start. And that's why the initial analysis, it is really sort of a compass. I call it the compass analysis. The compass analysis can direct us away from a person. If a person gives us reliable denials and convincingly states that they don't have a clue. So in the case of, for example, Cody or Belinda, had I interviewed them in the beginning, had I been there to go to their house at 2:30 in the morning, I believe I would have been able to, well, we don't know what state of mind Cody was in. He was maybe angry, but usually when we get reliable denials, when the compass will turn away from the person and we disregard the person. But when the compass is stuck right there, Daniel, and it doesn't move, that's when I know I need to look more into you. And the same with Logan, not in terms of Logan having had anything to do with it, but she can help us look deeper into the right direction. Whew. They heard reports of people with kids out searching, so they were not sure the boot prints belonged to Jack and Lilly. Oh my God! What the hell, man? They did think it was an out-of-the-way area for people to bring their kids to search. No shit. Who was that woman? Why did Janie mention her? Why did Janie mention her child? This is what I want to know about people. This is of great, great, great interest to me. I want to hear Justin's words as well. I want to hear Justin Martell speak. I want to be able to ask him only 2 different questions. I have a lot of questions on my mind, by the way, but I will narrow it down to 2. And after he gets me answers, I will either let it go if he's done, or I will ask the follow-up ones based on that. Remember Jack Tremarco, the polygrapher, one of the top people who died a couple of years ago. He always asked only 2 questions. Now, he asked the important question twice, but he made sure the wording was different in a way that the person answering, he may pass lying on one of the questions, but when you word it in a different manner, then fail the other one, even though it was more or less the same question. Do you know what happened? And I would have asked individually, do you know what happened to Jack? Do you know what happened to Lilly? These 2 questions don't encompass everything that we want to know. But in my opinion, Daniel would have failed these 2 questions. And that is me studying his language pattern inactively, not on purpose, but allowing his pattern to come to me, having observed him, involuntarily. Dude, I'm like, I know you, dude. You know, I wasn't trying to know you, but so do you know what happened to Jack? Not did you kill? No. Because what is your definition of kill? Or, well, kill is kill. But we want something that we can have certainty about. Then you can do another polygraph eventually, or then you can really narrow in on your interrogation. If he fails in either question, do you know what happened to Jack? Do you know what happened to Lilly? Then we can say, you failed, so tell us what happened. Then whatever statement he will give, unless he says, I need an attorney present, I'm not telling you anything. That he could say. By the way, do you guys know, okay, you know the Miranda rights, right? You have the right to be silent, everything we say can be used against you in court of law. If you have an attorney present, okay. Out of all the people who are being read their Miranda rights, by the way, what do they call it in Canada? Is it also called Miranda? It's not called Miranda rights, right? Because it was from a case in the 60s, Miranda versus, I'm talking too fast now. What percentage of people who are given the Miranda rights actually decide not to speak without an attorney? Do you guys know what percentage? I want to see if you guys, because I just found out recently and I find it very curious. And this is really, really interesting to those of you who are very much into statement analysis. What percentage of people Danielle, Danielle, you got it right. Yeah, it's zigzag. It's actually less than that. Nope, it's a very, very, no, absolutely not. Out of all the people that have been given their Miranda rights, you have the right to be silent, to stay silent. If you can't afford an attorney, what percentage says, I'm not talking, I want my attorney? Danielle, between 5 and 7% is correct. It's somewhere around 6%. 6%. Give or take. That means 94% or 95% will talk. They will continue to talk. They have the right to have an attorney, even if they don't have any money. I mean, of course, like on the Tira, he talked about how bullshit some of these public defenders are, according to him, by the way. You know, I mean, I have my own thoughts, but they're not really. What did he call it? Dump truck attorney or whatever he called them. But still, the importance, that's why attorneys always tell you don't talk to police. But the people usually think, first of all, they have a desire to speak. And secondly, many of them think they have a God-given ability to talk their way out of things. And yes, sometimes the cops are not that bright and they think they can BS them. But the good thing about the statements, we still have access to them. And the statements are telling us things. Most think they can talk their way out. Absolutely. Let me handle this. Similar to Logan. Oh, charter rights in Canada. Absolutely. Charter rights. Very good. Thank you. Charter rights. And they read something very similar, right? They're almost, I mean, not a verbatim, but they're very similar to what we do in the States, right? With Miranda rights. Yeah. And that often comes back to having had success, BSing your way out of a tough situation. And it often has to do with fear of giving that power to somebody else. And it often has to do with wanting quick results. I don't want to wait for an attorney. I don't want to go through all of this, blah, 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 blah. But give or take 95%. I want to say 95% because a 6%, yeah, that's where it was at a couple of years ago, actually, I believe. That's when the data's from. Okay, right to be informed. That's interesting. A right to be informed. And I agree with you, Robini. Innocent people think I have nothing to hide, but they can get railroaded at times. Absolutely. You see, I don't know what I would do. I think I would always say I want an attorney present. Because I don't want some rookie cop to, at this time, no matter what the situation is, even if even despite innocence, I think I would want an attorney present. I would say, I'm not telling you anything. Unless, of course, it is an urgent situation where, but the moment that I see they're looking at me, I will say, I want an attorney present right now. I'm doing a polygraph, I'm doing everything, but I will not speak without an attorney, period. Period. Because the last thing I have learned about too many cases where innocent people, these rookie cops that mess up, even the idiots who told Daniel, we know you killed Jack and Lilly. That's not how you conduct an interview. The stupid questions they asked him in the polygraph, that's not how you conduct a polygraph. I will not trust you as a random police officer that I'm not familiar with. If I know you in person, worked with you before, if I know you are able to, or you're willing, you have the right intentions, maybe I will warm up to you a little bit. If I realize you're listening to me and I realize you're taking my information and using it to solve the case. But I would not put my hands and my faith into somebody that I don't know. I have learned far too much about what can go wrong. So I would always want to have an attorney present. And I will volunteer immediately for a polygraph. But if I think the question, I don't know. I mean, there's so much incompetence happening. But anyways, I don't know. Is any of you working in law enforcement somehow? I know a few of you are. I don't know if any of you are here who are. Or detective work. There are a few private detectives listening to me who have benefited from, you see, the pledge is very good in terms of doing it quickly, not necessarily sitting there for hours, writing things down, underlining, but a compass. Pledge, to me, is the compass analysis, where you are flexible and allow the language of the people who know what happened to guide you in the right direction. And it's easy to apply. Even if you are entering a brand new case that you have absolutely no idea what went on, whom to look at, because they will tell you. They will tell you where to look. Yes, Krista, that's very good. What you said here. Let me see this again. When they make the plan and story, they also plan on talking. Absolutely. My script is airtight. I can't wait to tell you. I'm also afraid if I wait too long, I may forget it. You may already have poked some holes into it. I want to be the first to overshadow everything you think with my script. Let me get to it right now. That is absolutely a part of the psychology behind it. And maybe at one point in my life, I would have, no, I don't need an attorney. I have nothing to hide. I look at it very differently now, guys. Very differently. So let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. You see, my mind is racing during the day. I have everything on my mind related to, well, the only thing is that I still have, I'm looking at the Google Street View. This was not enough for me to, okay, these are the cabins close to the house. I guess I got to go to Google Maps. I don't know if you guys are interested in it, but these are across. Wait a minute. I think I'll do that next time. I think I want to get back to statements, guys. Sorry about that. And that's the other thing. They don't think we know. Even when I explain it to some people, I know what you told me. You told me this, you told me that. No, I didn't tell you. Yes, you did. I've had a lot of situations like that. How you know? How you know? Well, you told me. No, I didn't. Well, you told me. Dude, you told me straight up. I had many situations like that where people didn't realize what they had actually said to me. Because their memory leaked. And they're used to people missing these things. And sometimes they get lucky like Daniel. Because again, when CPS failure results in children being hurt, my faith in law enforcement decreases immediately. Let's see if I missed something.
Immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all
Immediately jumped, not I immediately jumped, immediately jumped.
the areas, many dirt roads.
Surveyed all the areas. What the hell are you talking about, all the areas, dude? What do you mean all? You didn't find Jack or Lilly. Look at him, staring in the camera. He's looking for approval. Am I doing okay? As many dirt roads.
Many culverts as I could.
Why? You didn't.
And waited for the police to get there.
No, you didn't wait for the police to get there. And I didn't know that in the beginning, but now I know. You came back and you saw police there. They came earlier than you thought. So you didn't want to park next to the police. You see how he's been bullshitting us from the very beginning? Hi, Ray wrote it. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know what to do about I definitely did not plan to do this one, guys. I didn't plan to do this one. I was talking to Charles a little bit, and I had so much on my mind that I said, you know what? Let me not bombard you with this. Let me talk. I don't care what time of day or night it is. I will go on right now. And I didn't know, even if 20 people watch, I have to do it when it's on my mind. You see, he did not wait for police to get there at all. He was gone, but he returned to drop off the car because he didn't want. He didn't want police to ask how many vehicles belong to all of you on this property who live here. One being missing, and then that vehicle being spotted somewhere close to the pipeline. He wanted to get there. His plan, in my opinion, was, okay, he said it took 12 minutes, it took 26. Interesting, right? Do I have the answers to that? Exactly what happened in 12 minutes? Why he chose 12 minutes? Not exactly. One of you said 1 + 2 is 3. I don't know. Well, I'm looking, this is there are possibilities that it's not a priority for me to dive into this yet. But I keep it as a sensitivity right there. It's always present. And the same way this was a sensitivity in the very beginning. Because why do you feel the need to tell us that you waited for the police? Because you didn't. You wanted to drop the car off and run back through the woods and be free to search for evidence you dropped at night. You saw police, so you parked somewhere else, and they told you, don't go into the woods, don't go anywhere. You stay put right here, dude. Because we have to treat it as a potential criminal case whenever there's a disappearance. We have our orders. We have a certain procedure that we have to obey. For a reason. For a reason. But he put on his innocent sounding lost soul kind of charm. And he is a lost soul in terms of how he comes off to some people. And they feel sorry for him. Screw it. Go for it, dude. Go for it. Go for it. That's what the officer told him. I actually believe it. I believe it. I believe one person said, go for it. And Daniel got teary-eyed when he talked about it. And I believe that was real because he was under such stress and pressure that when he got the green light, and I believe he found something that could have gotten him arrested. That's why he can't stop thanking this one officer. Why do you feel the need to tell us you waited for the police to get there? Because you did not. That's why you want to make it sound like it. You try to avoid police. Such incompetence is right. You see, this is when PLADS works, because we have these sensitivities from the very beginning. And as time goes by, the dots connect.
So again, this search began with family members.
I think you guys are all very tired now. And I will be back on later. And you know what? I will make these lives whenever I feel I have something I need to talk about. I'm always happy with the suggestions you guys are giving me. Let me see.
It has now expanded to dozens of search and rescue volunteers. About 160 people were on the ground yesterday. Arizona. Lilly had her.
This is from Adventures Underwater UK, guys. I always appreciate when one of you or some of you, something hits you and you say, what about this statement? I have fallen for that Lost Boy quality multiple times with a very bad result. Yeah. Daniel is a magnet for chaos. And having somebody like that in your life will always end up chaotic. And here again, he goes for the boots and the backpack. But guys, you know what? I wish you all a very, very good night. I thank you so much for watching. I will be back very soon. I cannot tell you guys exactly when. That is all your prospects. Well, if it's on your mind, what about the last statement I said? Okay, Grandel, one more time. Let me look at it. Let me look what you said. I'm so sorry. I missed it. I will look right now. He stated he only came back to the trailer to grab something to eat or change clothes because he hates being in wet clothes. I believe he got very wet that night when he gotten rid of Jack and Lilly. I don't believe he gotten wet during the day. They went to do laundry in Grandma's house because they don't have a washer and a dryer, or maybe they have and it's not working. I don't know. I believe when he talked about being waist deep in water, it was to give us a reason why his clothing was wet. Now, what state was he in when the RCMP told him, don't go into the woods? I don't know. But there's a reason he talked about being waist deep in water. And of course, he wanted to make it sound like he was wet because he searched that day, which he did not. And the same, he was screaming until his throat hurt. I believe his voice, he had lost his voice in another situation. He was that tired. He didn't sleep that night. And he wanted to give us a reason why he was in the state that he was in. And now, guys, I think I'm done. Grandel, are you okay? Is that what you wanted to? Is that what you're? What you were getting at? Yeah. Good night, people. I will get more into this later, Grandel, the next time because that is something that was one of the few things that really stood out to me in the very beginning. You still want to hear the song, or better not? Give me a second. Because a couple of people complained about the song, and you know what that means? That means I really want to play it. If you tell me you don't like something, unless you are very... Oh my God, Kel, I use your name here. I just got your message. That's going to be so great for my next one. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I gotten that transcript. So people who never says, I don't like that song. Don't play it anymore. Guess what I'll do right now? Good night, my friends. I appreciate you.
Wake up, everybody, stop sleeping. They want to charge more. Big companies are creeping into
Mike, stop playing that song. I don't like it.
Internet's in distress. Let's answer the SOS.
I'm the internet.
You're the internet. We're the internet. Now that's the internet. I like the internet. We love the internet, and I can prove it. Some net ferret just made me who I am. Living in an online find Neverland. The web's my playground, no suits allowed. Internet celebrities, let's sing it proud. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove
Peter
it.
Pan here.
It's not my tights that cut off circulation. Big business wants to control the
It's
net.
Mac Grady rap.
What you can see, how much
Oh,
you
Grady.
should pay. Tell me, is this the democratic way?
I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it.
I gotta learn that dance, man.
Wake up everybody, stop sleeping. They wanna charge more, big companies are creeping into our internet. Internet's in distress, let's answer the SOS. Keep it free and keep it open. Speak up or our World Wide Web will be broken. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it.